Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of Her Messy Bun. I'm Danielle, and today I'm going to be talking about the one thing that single-handedly pulled me out of the toxic hustle culture and into my own zone of creative space where I get to set my intentions, process my thoughts, all while defining and creating the life that I actually want to live. Have you heard of morning pages? If you follow me on TikTok, you most likely heard me mention morning pages maybe once or twice. Okay, who am I kidding? I literally mention it all the time. But, well, in fact, I think that if you look up the hashtag morning pages, my face is literally plastered all over it. But, anyways, no matter how many times I talk about it, I always get the same questions. What are morning pages? How do you do them? But what do I write? How does this actually help me? So I thought, what better way to answer the frequently asked questions about morning pages than to dedicate an entire episode about them? I mean, after all, it is the thing that changed my life. So, what are morning pages? Well, morning pages is a concept that originated from the book The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron in 1995. If you haven't read the book, I recommend reading it. It's honestly life-changing. I have a link on my resources page of the website, so you can go check it out. But morning pages is a writing concept that is one of the most effective tools in the book for cultivating creativity, personal growth, and change. So, how do you do them? Well, the original concept says that once you wake up, you grab that same journal and pen every single morning and do a conscious stream of thought for 30 minutes or for 3 pages. And then you put the journal away and never read your morning pages again. You never go back to it whatsoever. The goal behind this was to brain dump all your thoughts in order to clear your mind and be able to focus on your day ahead of you. And as of last year, they've actually been recognized as a form of meditation, which is pretty cool, especially since I've been doing it for almost 6 years. This is how I started doing morning pages. And while it worked for me at the time, I noticed that I was experiencing some downsides to it. At the time, I didn't know it, but I have ADHD. So making this the first thing I did with a foggy brain, my pages would look a lot like I need coffee. I don't know what to write. My dog needs to go outside. My dog won't stop scratching at the door. Blah, blah, blah. Literally, I wrote blah, blah, blah for a full page one day. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Well, these are techniques that you're supposed to do. If you don't know what to write, you literally just write, I don't know what to write. But as someone whose brain literally lacks dopamine, this technique did not work for me. But I did not give up. Instead, I altered how I did it, especially when I realized the book was written in 1995. So it was probably not written for the female entrepreneur with ADHD, but I digress. So instead of doing them first thing in the morning, I allowed myself to wake up, make coffee, stretch, shower, do my skincare routine, take care of my dog, make my bed, then take my coffee, journal, favorite pen, and head to the most comfiest spot I could find and start my morning pages. This first alteration to the original concept was a game changer for me. This kept me more consistent, and I felt like I was able to brain dump and process my thoughts more efficiently, especially because there's all these different quotes out there, but when you make your bed, when you accomplish these things, you're actually producing your own dopamine for yourself. So I was already producing this dopamine, getting myself hyped up, and I found it to be more beneficial for me when I went to do my morning pages. But there was still something not quite right for me. Again, I had no idea that I had ADHD at the time. So while the routine of doing the same thing over and over every day was comforting for me at the time, there was this moment where I just completely stopped and I didn't feel fulfilled anymore. It just felt like, what's going on here? Kind of like when your comfort food, if you have ADHD or neurodivergent at all, you have a comfort food that you eat all the time. And then you might be eating it for months, and then all of a sudden it just tastes like garbage for you. And well, that happened with morning pages for me. Not that I think it's garbage, but my ADHD brain was literally like, oh, this isn't working anymore. I don't want to do this. The thing was, I saw how much they were helping me grow my business, that that thought alone was what kept me going. I needed to make another alteration though, because I did not want to experience the comfort food dislike all of a sudden. So this is when my next alteration for morning pages happened. Again, the original concept, you're just supposed to do conscious stream of thought. But my next adjustment was to gear morning pages towards business. So during that time in the morning, I was designating to get ready before actually starting morning pages. I would make sure that I was consciously thinking about my business, my future goals, my target audience, the content I wanted to create, anything along the lines of progressing my life. I would think about those things. And that's when I started seeing the biggest changes in my business. I was actually creating copy, brainstorming marketing plans, figuring out what I wanted to do versus what I was seeing others doing and trying to mimic what they were doing. I was also figuring out my true motives for why I wanted to be self-employed, why I never wanted to go back to corporate world, why I was daydreaming. I was daydreaming about the possibilities of where my businesses, because I had multiples at this time already, where they would head to and take me, how far I'd be willing to go, and even how far I've come from the very first day of opening them up. The results of these shifts were astronomical. Sorry, I just thought of the TikTok. Anyways, so the results of these shifts were amazing and astounding. I was more confident, more self-aware, finally recognized my own accomplishments. I was proud of who I was and who I was becoming. And all of a sudden, that voice inside of my head that kept second guessing every damn decision that I was making went silent. And I mean silent. Creativity was surrounding me. My energy levels would spike and stay up there. And then have a healthy decline when I was finally done working on that project. I was more intentional with my decisions. I was focused. I was more assured of my boundaries, and I was less anxious on a day-to-day basis. This April is going to mark my 6th year of me doing morning pages. And I can honestly say that I see benefits every single day, which is why for the last 6 years, I've literally told everybody I've ever met, every friend, every client, every new self-employed business bestie, to try morning pages this way. And over the last 3 years, I've made even more adjustments to how they're done. And now I make sure to set my intentions for the day at the top of the page to help guide me. I create energy before I start I create energy before I start with either a quick neck stretch, rubbing my hands together, stretching my back, something to create energy within myself so that I can provide enough energy from pen to paper. Because I use my morning pages with intent, I also allow myself to reread what I wrote, especially when it's a golden piece of marketing material, a confirmed next action, or anything that will effectively grow my business. And because I do this daily with my members of Consciously Creative, I provide daily prompts to get you motivated, as well as a toast to connect us and fuel each other's energies. For those of you who are new here and you still don't know what Consciously Creative is, it's a community of creative entrepreneurs who are passionate about self-employment, leading to a fulfilling and sustainable lifestyle. We do morning pages every day together. I provide group clarity calls to help keep you on track with your business or marketing questions. I'm continuously building a library of videos geared towards leveling up your mindset and your business. And most recently, I've added the private pod section. So randomly once a month, instead of broadcasting an episode of Her Messy Bun publicly, I will be exclusively sharing it to my community and to them alone. And I actually think I'm going to be doing the first one next week. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one that's going to go to be exclusively for the community, which I'm really excited for. All right, my friends, if you have not heard of morning pages And now you've made it this far, you clearly have. If you have any questions whatsoever, I'm pretty sure I've covered all the common questions, but if you have any, go ahead. Anything about morning pages, Her Messy Bun, Consciously Creative, anything along those lines, go ahead and send me a message on Instagram or send me an email. And if you aren't already, make sure that you're following me on TikTok for some daily videos. Until next time, thank you for listening.